And Scott Starboard.
Hey, Scott.
Scott Starboard.
All right, I'll get Scott.
Scott Starboard.
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 Scott Starboard!
Now, turn it up, feel the bass line, gallop fast, collide past the stars, shoot through the mast. Hands high, cheer flows like the breeze. The Scott Starboard vibe, breaking rules with ease. Gritty like sawdust, but smoother than silk. Words spill out, whipped up, honeyed and milk. The show takes on galaxies, king of the scene. Fusion of rhythms, a genre-grafted dream. Scott Starboard. Every pulse and sound, a radiant glow. It's the Scott Starboard. Now giddy up, get down, and let that energy grow.
Hey, thank you so much for being here. I am Scott Starboard. This is the Scott Starboard Show. I don't have any Boston accent. What are you talking about? And so it really is difficult for me personally, to say Starboard. What a name I picked for myself. But what are you going to do? I had to give up my government name so I could go underground and then come out for the whole public to see. I'm just being a weirdo. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to have a grand old time tonight. I got a bunch of little clips we're going to talk about. They're not too much fun, to be honest with you. I hear this thing so loud. It's not like fun. Usually I like to have fun. I do have some fun things towards the end as we build up. As we build up for what? You know what it is. You know what time it is. It's that time. It's Tuesday. Tuesday Day. We getting ready, baby. Because we going all the way. All the way. Till about 6:55-ish. For me, it's funny because I want to say 6:55, but I'm full of it. Sometimes I go 6:59 right up until the point. The point of what? The point until the comedy king himself, Mr. Comedy Gold, Content Gold, Alex Stein, Primetime 99, #1 stunner all the way, coming to you from Plano, Texas, or Dallas, Fort Worth, whatever one you want to think about. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, we're going to have some fun. Oh, and I almost forgot. What is what's wrong with me? Alex goes all the way. Alex starts at 7 o'clock, goes to 8 o'clock, and then we all hang out. I'll remind you again, as if you didn't know. And then after Alex's Dark Match Steve, we're going to go hang out at Dark Match Steve's place and have a little fun. At Dark Match Steve's actually having a Halloween party. Damn it, I wish I was down in Florida. It feels like all the fun stuff's either happening in Texas or Florida. I'm up here, windy, cold, windy rain in Massachusetts. Now, hopefully it's going to end tonight. It's been like 3.5 days straight. I'm done. To be honest, though, this summer we didn't get a drop of rain, so go figure. I guess I'd rather it now than during the beach season, as they say. But listen, I got a whole bunch of stuff. I don't want to slow you guys down. I'm going to be talking about some serious issues. I'm going to try and keep them lighthearted, I guess. But you know me, sometimes I get a little agitated by real life shit that sucks. But like I said, I'm going to wrap it up. If everybody who was here yesterday, or if you watched the show yesterday, I got the new Fatigued segment. It's going to be banging today. And I got an amazing brand new Alex Stein clip. I don't think the public's seen it yet, unless you got X. And don't go on X, please. Watch it here. It's much more fun. And we'll be rolling right into Alex Stein. So let me get to the chat so we can get right to this. By the way, I got Glenn Beck and Whitney Webb. I ain't gonna lie. I've heard of Whitney Webb But when I watched this clip today of Glenn Beck and Whitney Webb, I'm like, Whitney Webb, she's this girl. If you haven't heard of her, like I didn't, you're going to. This girl's, she's, as they say around here in these parts, she's wicked smart, kid. She's wicked fucking smart, if you know what I'm saying. It's crazy. And then we got a clip from Piers Morgan. I hope I'm not stepping on Dark Master Steve's toes, because I know he's going to want to play the whole thing. DMS, not to worry. It's only a little clip that I'm going to show from Piers Morgan, because I know you want to show it. I know you want to show it. So let me get right to the chat so we can get right into the business. The one and only, the great Bob Cook. Thank you for being here, my brother. Big E, where you been, baby? I miss you in the chat. Well, you probably were in Bubba's chat this morning. I could barely chat at all. Working in the rain is just miserable, but it's a much better day now that you're here, my brother. Thank you for being there, Big E. Love you. Truth is unbreakable. Let's go. Let's go. Maddie P. I get all excited when I see you guys. Maddie P, the place to be double. Oh, G7, my dude. He says, so grateful to have found a new home so quickly. Thank you. You know you're here. When you're here, you're family. Something like that. But when I'm on, this is OOG7's house. This is your home, my friend. Thank you. Incredible decision. It's dysfunctional, but it's home. Just like any good home, little bit of dysfunction says it best. Johnny Z. Friendly, my dog. Let's go. Wait, I can't hang with you young whippersnappers. Like, of course you can. Oh, fatigued. If you missed, I think you were here yesterday. If you missed it, I got a whole little opening and everything. It's not perfect, but you know, where did it go? It's dysfunctional, but it's home. That's gonna be. I'm gonna have to make a T-shirt. Maddie P explained it perfectly. All right, let me get right to this stuff. I got so much stuff and so little time. So little time. By the way, Alex Stein has 7. I believe there's 7 episodes left. 6 or 7. No, it might be. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my God, is it 6? I believe it's. Oh my God, it might be 6. 6 episodes left. I'm gonna miss that set. I mean, Pimp on a Blimp has his own blimp. The thing is turning like a blimp. Come on, that shit's banging. He's got the TV Gaza wall there, whatever the hell's called, West Bank wall. Shit slam. I'm gonna miss it. I miss Darius. There might be a sneak appearance by Black Darius soon. You didn't hear it from me, but you did hear it from me. Oh man, I'm so glad you guys are here. All right, let me get to business. Let me get straight to the goodie room here. We're gonna bring this gentleman up here, Glenn Beck himself. Now, I'm not too happy with this guy, and but I got in some trouble last time I talked about Glenn Beck. I kind of went a little crazy. I mean, he's let my boy go, but we all know you can't keep a pimp down, and Alex Stein will be just fine. You know he's on the grind all the time. So I think I rhymed enough. So let me go. All right, now we're not going to watch this whole thing. It's an hour and 37 minutes and 15 seconds. We're going to watch about like 2 minutes of it, maybe 3, maybe 4, but we'll see. I just want you to get a good picture of what is going on. So for those who don't know, the WEF, the World Economic Forum, okay? That's where like the globalist think tank is, okay? Globalists are the people who want to make one world government. You know, like the Antichrist in the Bible. Just today, I've come to the conclusion that there are multiple antichrists. At least there's multiple people aiming for that number one antichrist spot. I really believe that because There's all these different people. You have the technocrats, Elon Musk, and all these other people. This young lady, Whitney Webb, will speak of. Technocrats, literally, they want us to be palantired. We will be surveilled. It'll be a Patriot Act, Global Patriot Act. And, just like a Social Security number, they're going to give us a number. And anything digital will have a number. I mean, they eventually see us putting our minds, just like that movie with Johnny Depp. What the hell was it called? I forget. Maybe one of you beautiful, smart, amazing, delightful, lovely people can remember what that movie's called. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. But that's what they want, like Ascension or something like that. They want us to put our minds into computers and not even have people. This is way down the road, though. This is like their 400-year plan, maybe a little closer, but something like that. Their long, long, long plan. Short plan is to enslave us 1984 style. And if you haven't read the book or seen the movie, I suggest you do so a few times. Read the book a couple of times. Watch the movie. There's like 2 or 3 of them now. Watch the original one. It's the scariest one because it's the most realistic. All right, so let me get straight to this stuff so we can get to some other festivities. You know me, I like to go, go, go. All right, let's go.
The last time I spoke with this week's guest, the Great Reset was in full swing. Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum ruled the world. And my guest predicted that the global elites were going to use AI and transhumanism to create a new class of slaves.
Nice. A new class of slaves, you say. As ridiculous as that sounds, is as real as that shit is. He's not kidding. We are in big ass trouble. But this girl, Whitney Webb, gives me some hope. Thomas Gilson in the house. I love you, Thomas Gilson. Let's go. Yo, everybody, put your hands together for the king. This is the pimp. I love this Chuckalunka. Lord Baby 42, give him some love. I love this dude. That's my dog. That is my homie. I love you, man. Thank you for making it alive, baby. Let's go. All right, let me get to this quick. Let me go. I'm going to have to pause it, by the way, because Glenn Beck is going to copyright strike my channel if I don't. And, I get to say some funny things. I promise. I'll try not to pause it too much and talk too much because we're going to watch like 3 minutes of this hour and 37 long thing. So I ain't going to sit here that whole time.
Now, fast forward 3 years, and it seems like Donald Trump has destroyed the WEF and ESG in America. The rest of the world is spiraling towards total government control, and AI is becoming a part of our daily lives. So what's happening now? Where does she see us now? Is the Great Reset really dead? Or have the global elites just pivoted? And what's happening with digital ID, which has just been released? Is that part of everything kind of spooky that we've talked about in the past?
Digital ID, just like I said, that is the key. That literally opens the lock. Because, it's just like these stupid websites, okay? I'm not going to lie. And you all better not either. Just to even watch me on here means we had to give up some crazy rights to YouTube. When you sign up for YouTube, it's like, oh, there's a bunch of words. Don't worry about those. Just click here. It'll be just fine. Just like Facebook. If you read the shit on Facebook, I quit Facebook for a few reasons. But the number one reason why, because I went through and sat there for like 3 hours. I'm not kidding you. 3 hours. And this was 8 years ago now, 9 years ago. I went through all of the, I wish I did it for content. Maybe not. I'd probably bore somebody for that long. But, I sat there and went through all of YouTube's BS. And I'm like, they own you. They own, every picture that you upload to Facebook, they own. It's like when you used to send, videos to like America's Funniest Home Videos, and they're like, oh, that's the best. Just like, and they're like, you're like, can I get that back down? And they're like, no, we made fun of you nationwide, and now we keep your property. How do you like them apples? A lot of people started figuring out to make a second tape and send it in. You know what I mean? But all these things are like that. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to say, well, I mean, if you want to keep using your cell phone, and I mean, you order all your food with your cell phone, you pay all your bills, you do every single thing with your phone, you're going to have to take this digital ID. And you, I, and everybody we know, as many people as we know, are going to have to say no. We're going to have to say no. We are going to have to say no. I'm not dealing with your digital bullshit. I am not going to be part of this problem. Don't take the mark of the beast. I know there's been like 45,000 marks of the beast. Just one more. Don't take this one, please. In our time, anyway. All right, let me get to this.
Please welcome back to the podcast one of the world's leading researchers on these issues, Whitney Webb.
Let's go.
Hello, Whitney. Welcome back. Glad to have you.
Hi, it's been a while. Thank you. My pleasure. Thanks for having me back on.
I just realized, because I watched this whole thing earlier, and that's why just the first few minutes are great. Well, they're important to this. Plus, we're on limited time. We're only going to 6:55, folks. Ish. 6:57-ish. Now I know why she looks so comforting to look at. It's because she looks like the secretary who took over for Pam on The Office, right? Doesn't she? Oh, what the hell is her name? Oh my God. I've watched The Office 17 billion times and I can't remember her name. Andy went to Florida to get her. You know what I'm talking about? Shit. Yo, Lord, baby, I love you, baby. Love you. Dutch Dukes in the house, my dog. Oh, man. All you wonderful, amazing people. I know I say that. She's mildly attractive. She is. She's cute as a button. She looks like she was with Gabe. She dated Gabe. Why can't I think of her? Her real name is like Kim. Right, yo, Maddie. Tell me she doesn't look like the chick who took over for Pam Beasley at the head secretary desk. Why can't I remember her name? She had some garbage show, The Incredible Kimmy Schmidt or something. How do I remember that? And I can't remember her damn name. Whitney is younger than me. We chicks still got it. Yo, let's go. Truth is unbreakable. Whitney Webb. Listen, the future is bright, okay? Let me tell you. And my wife, you got two of my amazing daughters. My son might be a mega genius, but that's, don't take it, it's not a competition, ladies. If, everybody can be uplifted and no, not Pam. The other Pam, the chick who took over for Pam with the red hair, dated Andy, went to Florida. Cole's mom, Johnny Z, Fradley, bang, baby. Cole's mom. She looks terrible in those too. Life is not fair. Why must we age? I bet you can eat corn. Oh my God. I bet she can eat corn cobs to a bigger fence. I wasn't ready for that. Kimmy Schmidt, Ellie Kemper. Thank you. I still can't remember her name on The Office. I still can't get over this one. Damn. I wasn't ready for that. Snezzook, my dog, my homie. Kohl's is amazing. Kohl's is like, yeah, everything's on sale. And there is a sale on the sale. And if you have the coupons from the last sale on the sale, you can get money off the sale on the sale from the last sale of sales. It's amazing. And it's good shit. Aaron, Double OOG7 is the winner. I wish I had something. Ding, 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 ding. Thank you. Aaron, I couldn't think of her name. Why? I can see that actually, yeah, just a little different hair. Right? It's just a face. It's just the face. I bet she's a tiger when she takes those glasses off. Well, she's probably is. She's like, I can't see anything. Let's go identify as a liger. Cole's bankrupt. You know why Cole's bankrupt? Well, because you go in, they got a sale going on, right? And then they got a sale on top of the sale. And if you got coupons from the last sale of the sale. Oh my God. All right, I gotta hurry up. It's already halfway through the damn show. We just started.
Last time we spoke,
Aaron,
I think it was right after COVID. You had just released your book on Epstein, which is fabulous.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I just had released a book on the World Economic Forum and the Great Reset, and we were talking about the Great Reset and the World Economic Forum, and you said that's only really one part of this big global octopus, and I was so hyper focused on the World Economic Forum and what they were doing. I have to ask you, has the World Economic Forum been sacrificed? Did we win? Because it kind of went to the wayside, but I know they're not gone. Klaus Schwab was exposed.
Sure, of course they're not.
Right, they're not gone.
Mm-hmm.
So have they just mutated? Is somebody else taking their place? Did they pass the torch? What is happening?
Yeah, so I would argue,
I can't look at her now. Which one of y'all said? I think it was Thomas Gilson. I just can't get this image out of my head, and it's hilarious. It's like a Looney Tunes cartoon in my head, or a SpongeBob for the newer crowd. Oh my God, that shit is great. Hell yeah. Also started the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt or something like that. It was pretty good. Listen, Erin Kimmy Schmidt, whatever her real name is, she's fantastic. I think she's great. I didn't watch The Office live when it, first came out. I binge watched it, and it was like 2 episodes left of the whole series. That's when I started watching it, and I didn't even know it was still running. And I'm like, this is the greatest show of all time. I thought Seinfeld was. There's plenty of other great shows too. I mean, I like comedies. That's just my style. But she's fantastic. Like when she popped on, and I'm like, what? I thought Pam's the secretary. What the hell's going on with this story? And I'm like, I guess this broad comes in and they fire her. She ends up being the secretary for the whole thing, and she was bomb. They will never find a cast like that again. You got a bunch of you guys, Kenny Powers and shit, all y'all trying to tell me to watch The Paper, which is like a cheap spinoff. I don't know. I'll watch it just because you guys recommended it. But I'll tell you, the trailer don't do much justice for The Paper. It looks sad. It looks like it was like The Office started in England, and then they made an office here in America. The Paper feels like the Soviet Union's The Office. I don't know. Maybe it's just the lighting and the drab acting. There's no Michael Scott in The Office. I mean, in The Paper. I'll tell you that I know for 1,000,000,000% fact, because there will never be another Michael Scott. The closest thing we will ever get to Michael Scott again is Alex Stein. And I will take that all day long. All right, let me get flying here. Let me get flying. Did I miss anybody? Shoot, I don't want to miss nothing. Titus Andromeda was hilarious, even though he was Gizzy. Who? Look at those snaggle teeth. Oh my God. Doc Matt Steve in the hood. Let's go. Let's go. Start the stream. All right, we'll start the stream over. We are watching BW. Let's go. My dudes. All right, let's go. We'll start the stream over again. And we'll start with the incredible Kimmy Schmidt, a.k.a. Erin. And she is schooling Glenn Beck on the Great Reset and all this scariness. I got to hurry up. We got like 2 minutes of this, and I still got a whole bunch of other stuff. All right,
let's go back to what the WEF is by its own description. It's the
WEF, WEF, World Economic Forum,
premier promoter of the public-private partnership. So I think a lot of the policies that they attempt to sell people through the public sector, i.e. governments, was exposed. And I think they've gone to the other side of the public-private partnership and are trying to market some of their policies that are unpopular with significant segments, particularly in the West, via the private sector. I would.
Can you give me examples?
I think that's what's happening. Yeah, so I guess one example would be, let's take what's happening in Britain, for example, with the so-called Brit card and digital ID.
All right, so anybody who doesn't know, I'll try to be quick. The Brit card is basically a new social security number. Darkman Steve, BW, and a couple other people were here earlier. What they want to do is have a one world order. By the way, China and Russia are going to be the last two odd men out, and North Korea, of course, but who gives a fuck about North Korea? Once Israel takes over Iran, that's it. You're going to have those two and 1/10 of a country, Russia, China, North Korea, and they aren't going to be able to do anything in the world. This girl's going to tell us how to defeat it. I keep hearing people say, well, how do we do it? What do? We can't vote ourselves out anymore because, I love Trump. I love him. But we all know he's being controlled right now because this is not 2016 Donald Trump. This one right here that I voted for.
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.
You were in 2016. What happened to you? All right, let's go.
So obviously there's been a lot of political pushback to that from Keir Starmer, his intention to frame this as a way to solve illegal immigration, which is absolutely
madness.
A ludicrous idea.
Yeah, madness.
Yeah, completely insane. And so
in England, they were trying to use this bullshit ass new social security number, this globalist social security number, to say, well, that's how we're going. No, I'll do a British accent. They're like, well, that's how. I wasn't ready. They're like, oh, well, how else do you suppose we fix this illegal immigration problem? I don't even know how it happened. Sure you don't. Sons of bitches. We're all being lied to. Not by me. I love every last one of you. I think, our whole crew are the only truth tellers out there, except for other couple of crews. But we're all cool with we got triple crews and shit. All right, let's go.
And then they, of course, come out and said that soon, it wasn't just limited to its use as an alleged work permit. It would expand to all facets of life. But actually, if you look at how the UN has labeled or has sort of laid out its plan, really, to have digital ID implemented at a global scale, it's not to have it be a centralized digital ID like the Brit card has been proposed. Instead, it's meant to be a vendor agnostic system whereby you would have different vendors sell a digital ID type of platform. And so to the public would see it as decentralized and all these different private sector partners in digital ID, that they have the illusion of choice between them. But really all that data is meant to be interoperable. And so that it can all be harvested off of any of these, different digital ID platforms. And
damn, Aaron, you're killing it. Why are you so... I like the dumb Aaron from The Office. Just slow down. This hurts to hear. It's just ripping Band-Aid off after Band-Aid. Let me breathe. After each pull. This girl's awesome. This girl's amazing, right? I'm telling you, dropping that knowledge. All right, let's go.
Collated in a mass in a single database. Because ultimately, if you were to have something like Brit card, for example, happen, you would have all of the data be harvested into a single library, what Tony Blair's institute, for example, calls the National Data Library. Mm-hmm. Something like that. So you could have that happen with Keir Starmer's Brit card or something else that it comes from, I don't know, five or six different companies offering different forms of digital ID, but all of that data could still be harvested, from all of those different vendors because they all agree to specific standards. And if you look at some of these alliances about digital ID that were a focus during COVID, for example, like the ID 2020 Alliance, for example, they were all about getting all these different vendors of digital ID to agree to the same set of international standards.
All right, so by the way, people were saying for the last like 5 or 6 years, we are owned by 3 companies: BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. State Street's Boston, BlackRock is basically Europe, and Vanguard is New York. Just think of it that way, right? Now everybody has realized that Vanguard owns 51% of BlackRock, BlackRock owns 51% of State Street, and State Street owns 51% of whoever the hell it is. They all own, it's one company, and they all own everything. Everything. So that's what she's talking about. Man, where is this part?
So that they could harvest the data from any digital ID, no matter who makes it, and have it held in the same global centralized database. So there are different ways to get what they ultimately want, but it all comes down to public perception. So a colleague of mine who I've worked with closely on digital ID for a few years now, Ian Davis, recently wrote about what's going on in the UK, and he's based there. And he posited that maybe what Keir Starmer is doing is actually a bait and switch, that to create all this unpopularity about this style of digital ID, but then someone later could come in riding the wave of the discontent that this is creating and then offer a new solution, which would be more along the lines of what I just described, which is actually how the UN itself and SDG 16, which is the SDG that includes digital ID, the roadmap laid out there is not the same as the one laid out by Keir Starmer. So in that, you still have a public-private partnership, right? But it would be the private leading as opposed to the public leading. And what we're seeing come out of the UK right now is being sold as a public leading thing, and it's grossly unpopular. And I think they're a lot smarter than people give them credit for. They're fundamentally very manipulative, and they want us to get stuck with the same policy, but they're very apt at selling it different ways, and they know that they've become very unpopular with large segments of the population.
All right, listen real quick. I'll tell you a quick story, okay? And it pisses me off because Trump, Glenn Beck, all these people love this guy, and he is pure evil, okay? Any of y'all remember or know anything about like Jim and Tammy Faye Baker, TV evangelist? Oh, you gotta, Jesus, won't you, to donate all your money to us because we're going to build a mall. Jesus's mall. Bunch of scam artists. There is another guy, and he's a new Jim Baker, and his name is Mike Huckabee. You might have heard of his daughter, Sarah Sanders Huckabee, whatever her other names are. She got 3 names, like a serial killer. I don't know. She seems all right. Her dad's a total demonic demon, okay? He happens to be the whatchamacallit, the liaison, American liaison, whatever it's called, for diplomat for Israel right now. Well, he was the governor, I believe, of Arkansas, right? Man, my brain. 90% sure he was the governor of Arkansas, Mike Huckabee. And many of you might not know this. You might know it. I don't know. They actually have a governor's association, a group of governors. Every governor of all 50 states gets to, they're in this governor's, alliance, this little, special interest group. And they all vote, I believe, every 2 years to pick who runs the governor, club, right? The governor's club. Mike Huckabee, they picked him every single year. Why? Because he can bring in money. These people are stuffing them. If you stuff your pockets with enough loose change, eventually you can buy a couple of houses and a few businesses. So that's how they do it. Just take a little bit, take here, take there, 1,000 here, 10,000 there. If you take a couple of million right off the bat, game over. Okay, but anyway. So Mike Huckabee talked all these assholes of every single state into implementing something in our schools, whether it's homeschooled or not, called Common Core. Everybody know what Common Core is? It's they created a socialist voting machine. Is essentially what Common Core is. Now, Bill Gates and a bunch of other people, including Mike Huckabee, because he loves Jesus. I pray every day. I'm on my knees every day, Lord. Build me a mall. For like every single test that every kid in every single school all across America for the 200 or 180 days, whatever the heck the kids go to school for now, every test, a certain test, a Common Core test, that they pull them out of class or whatever, stop a class just to take the stupid fucking test. It would be like $1. Now, it doesn't seem like much, but there are, I don't know, 140 million kids taking those tests every single day. Mike Huckabee still makes money off it. Why do I bring all this up? Not just because of my pure and unadulterated hatred of Michael Huckabee. No. It's because when Mike Huckabee got caught, okay, what did he do? We have him dead to rights. He texted the whole governor's group, and a couple of the governors were actually on the right, and they were like, let's, expose this piece of shiz. And they showed everybody. He's like, guys, listen, we're getting a lot of pushback from this Common Core stuff. What I need you to do is, if people don't accept Common Core in your state, don't worry about it. Actually use that and say, I'm against it too. We're going to implement something totally different and just rename it. So, by the way, one of the best states in all, not just America, but across the whole globe is Florida. We love Florida, right? Come on. It's the best, one of the best states, probably maybe the best. I don't know. Florida has like the Sunshine Core or whatever it is. So I hate to tell you, Florida, but even you were duped because you have Common Core as well. Don't believe me? It's called Sunshine Learning or whatever the hell it is, because Mike Huckabee told that dickhead, I think it was Charlie Crist, to change it. Oh my God, I gotta hurry up. I'm a blabber. I blab a lot. Here we go.
And so, like a chameleon, they have to take a different form, but ultimately the goal is to lead people to the same type of, technocratic Orwellian system.
Now, that's why I brought that whole thing up, because like she said, they're chameleons. They're not going to stop just because we beat them somewhere. A few states, by the way, have rejected Common Core. If you accepted, it was from Bill and Melinda Gates. Yay, I trust them so much. If you once you got it, it's like, oh, by the way, your state's going to get $100 million over the next 8 years for implementing this thing. Every governor's like, oh my God, I'm going to stop a couple of months. I'm taking at least 40,000 for myself, and I'll give a bunch of my friends money, and I'll give some of my donors some of that money, and then they'll give a little back, and I take a little bits. Yay! And guess what? If you want your state to get rid of Common Core, it's going to cost $5 billion. Read the fine print, just like a Facebook. Oh, I can't wait to talk to my cousins. I haven't said hi to my grandma. Wait till I show grandma the old photos we took when I was 9. And it's like, to show Granny those beautiful photos. They are tearjerker photos, folks. To show Granny those photos, you have to sign your life away, a little checkmark box. Did you read it? No? No problem. You can read it later. All right, let's get going here.
Couple things. First of all, I have for years now looked at what is being done to us with both horror and also, in a way, strange admiration. They are so thorough. They are so well thought out. The structure of this, the fallbacks, the use of behavioral scientists and everything else. At some point, a book is going to be written that says, look at how all of this was designed. I mean, it is
probably many books.
Yeah, it is. It's really, it's incredible to me how many great minds have spent so much time trying to enslave their fellow human beings.
Isn't it weird? Maybe it's just because I have utter disdain for Glenn Beck, who I loved so much for so long. And if this is playing at the Blaze Studios, I love everybody there. I'm just mad at you, Glenn Beck, for letting go of my boy Alex. I love you, dude. No, but it's just weird how, like, he's like, I'm impressed by them. I get it, but I would be saying that with, venom dripping off of my fangs. I would grow fangs. If I get it. I'm impressed off it too, but like, I just think you should be a little bit more pissed off. I know I am. This is some bullshit.
You know?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I think it's because a lot of the people that seek to enslave the vast majority of humanity have a lot of capital that they want to devote to this, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we also know that money can buy you essentially anything in today's world, including armies of behavioral psychologists and any other number of other specialists. But ultimately, I think a lot of them are increasingly relying on artificial intelligence to be able to do this at scale. And so I think this advent of the era of AI generated content also enables them to tweak things faster, and also to manipulate our attention in ways that are just really being discovered and maybe won't be discovered for a long time, with increasingly significant impacts on human behavior and also on human perception. So I think ultimately it's never been more important to be a critical thinker and to do as much of your own research as possible. And the best way to do that research, like what I just talked about regarding the UN and digital ID and how they say it, it's in their own documents. You just have to go in and read it, and not everyone can do that. But if these are issues that particularly concern you, we absolutely should make that effort. And also I think in the COVID era, for example, a lot of people were against these particular policies, digital ID being one of them. But these people will repackage and rename and sell you the same policy under different metrics and under a different name with a different face that they deem polling shows are more politically palatable to that particular demographic or what have you. So I think the more we focus on the policies that we don't want, the better off we'll be, instead of the person selling it to us, and we never the new buzzword that's following it around.
And we never seem to learn. I mean, this is what they did with the Federal Reserve, with the Federal Reserve Act 1913.
Yes.
This is what they did with the Patriot Act. That thing was written, 3 years before 9/11. They tried to package it, didn't work, just repackaged, waited for the right moment. I mean, this is the way they do it. For anybody who is not truly up on digital IDs and why this is so important, can you explain what digital ID means if we begin to implement them?
Yeah, well, digital ID is really the linchpin to, the sustainable development goals, as well as this mass surveillance paradigm that's being sold to us by oligarchs on the left and the right. It would be your unique identifier for the digital world. The goal is to have it be the way for you to offer your credentials to every service that you access, period. Everything ranging from healthcare to telecommunications, your social media accounts. And as things become increasingly digitally connected, perhaps even your appliances, if they're smart appliances at some point, won't function without you having the proper credentials to show that it's you. So ultimately, if people want to fight against this mass surveillance paradigm and these efforts to usher us into a very dark, I would argue, a technocratic future, the most important thing is to not comply with digital ID, because it's the single most important piece of infrastructure that they need. And they need us to voluntarily consent, because even if they roll it out, but it will fail if people decline to use it. So ultimately, so much effort is being spent on convincing us to adopt it. And so we need to be laser focused on that policy and say, no, thank you.
Let me play the devil's advocate that you hear every time we take a bad step towards more digital surveillance. Well, I don't have anything to hide. I don't really care. I don't have anything to hide. Well, why is that?
Last part.
Well, I would argue because a lot of these companies that are engaged in these mass surveillance, or the contractors really that are engaged in mass surveillance, don't ultimately have just watching what you're doing as being enough for them. They're ultimately interested in things like predictive analytics and predictive policing. So based on your behavior now and your behavior in the past, they want to use artificial intelligence to determine what you may do in the future. And in the case of predictive policing, that would be, well, we've determined that you may commit a crime in the future. And so we're going to, send you to a court-ordered physician, or, issue house arrest to stop crime before it happens, essentially. Is where a lot of these companies. Well, and unfortunately it is that. And there's a lot of companies that have made massive inroads in that type of technology, even though it's been hugely discredited. There's several companies. I think the most notorious at this point was called Predpol. They've since rebranded, but they were less accurate than a coin toss, and people were being deprived of their liberty because of an algorithm that was hugely inaccurate. And ultimately, if you look in the UK, for example, some of these algorithms for facial recognition have been rolled out, even though they've been shown over there too to be hugely inaccurate. And there's no interest in changing vendors, even when this inaccuracy is demonstrated. So to me, that says that their goal is to have us induce and beat obedience by the fact that you're being watched all the time, and anything you may do could be used against you, even if you're not doing anything wrong now. An algorithm could determine that certain, errant behaviors warrant you being added to a list of some type.
That's it. I gotta hurry up. All right, let me switch over here. Damn, I want to get to the chat. I wish it was Monday again, so I could have a whole nother hour with you guys. All right, let me get that out of here. Boop. Let me get this. Let me get this, that, and this. Damn, there was something else I want to talk to you guys about. I'll do this story tomorrow. Controversial Hannah Dustin statue. Is this up? I'm talking to myself. All right, good. Hey, what are you doing there, girl? Get out of here. Aaron, back on my other screen. Controversial Hannah Dustin statue faces removal by some fake-ass New York rhino carpetbagger in Concord, New Hampshire. We'll get to that tomorrow. 30 seconds, I guess we can show this. Did you know this is happening right in front of the pyramids of Giza there in Egypt? This is awesome and terrifying all at the same time. In my opinion, this is one of the ways they're going to get so many people to click that box. Don't you want digital ID? Look it, you're at the pyramids of Giza. We only charge you £4,000 to come to our magic show with your new overlord. Ready, watch. Oh, mackerel there. Easy killer. Look at Satan Nubs. Satan Nubs. Damn, imagine being right there. Whoop, whoop. Go, 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 go. Oh. Boom. I don't know. I just thought it was creepy. What you guys think? Let me get to the chat. Man, there's so many chat. I wish I had so much log up. Whitney is amazing. Whitney is a human database. It's freaking insane. BlackRock is Arkansas. Oh my God. Bill Clinton, Mike Huckabee, and BlackRock. What do you know? So BlackRock's mom is its sister. And its own mom. And a little bit of dad. It's weird. I somewhat remember Tammy. Wait, I have a special star on my driver's license, so I'm special. Don't let me get into that, Johnny Z, because I'll be here all day. I believe we should have different driver's licenses for good drivers, for shit drivers, and even some people who have mastered, sort of mastered driving drunk. But I digress. Fuck Common Core, baby. You damn right. Shout out Florida. We love Florida up in here. 90% of y'all up in this chat are from Florida, and we love you. Tennessee told Common Core to go get twisted. Get bent, baby. Tennessee, I love Tennessee. I got family down in Tennessee, baby. I need to come up with a money-making idea like that. Shoot, exactly. Listen, all you need is some coding skills and no soul, and all that can be yours. Tommy 2274, my baby, my baby bro. I guess I don't know. I'm assuming I'm older than all of you, even though I'm only 31. Yeah. Driving but listening. I love you, Tommy. Thank you for being here, my dog. Let's go. Digital ID is just another piece of turnkey tyranny. Absolute and root and tootling. Shit is crazy. Wow, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. Skynet meets iRobot. Meets 1984. It's whack. Say no to organ donation on driver's license. Girl, I've been doing that since the day I got my license. They tried. I said, whoa. I put right on here. No. She's made me go over the shit. Is everything okay on here? And I said, what? Why did you make me a donor? Go look. I don't want nobody. And she's like, that's a little selfish, don't you think? And I'm like, listen, people want to sell my shit and play games. And if I semi-die, it's just like, he's an organ donor. Get him out there. It's like, listen, if I want to give little Tommy somewhere my dirty old lungs, I'll be like, all right, kid, they're all yours. Everybody knows I'm living to about 160 anyway. You're not going to want anything in this body. It's going to be a mess. Hostile takeover of BRN. We love Bubba BRN, baby. We ain't going to mess around. Damn it. All right, we got to do the other part real quick. I got a couple other things, but we're going to do this right now.
Fatigued.
Yeah, baby. I made the fatigue thing. I want to have it like spin and go right on top of my, like right on the screen, but we'll see. All right, real quick on fatigued. I promise fatigue. We got to do fatigue. Yeah, I like that one. All right, quick. We only got like 2 minutes left. Fatigue. By the way, look at this. These damn Democrats holding up they shut down the government for all this crap. You can read it later. Trump loves Israel. This is what I want to get to. Ready? Look at this mess. If it's a Carnival cruise, it's gonna be a ruckus old time. Oh my goodness! By the way, you don't hear any music playing. They took away all the jungle music on the Carnival cruise. So now they got nothing to keep them occupied. If they ain't shaking they stankin' ass, then they slapping somebody pulling weaves off and shit. Ran up. God, look at the white dude. Get out of there. That's a boy, by the way. I knew it was. Ran up and stole some girl in the face. That's what we used to say back in the day. Stole them in the face. Just means you clocked, hit, papped them, whatever you want to call it. Ships, we got like a minute left. Now, look at the comments on this. I don't know if you guys have seen this. The comment section is absolutely hilarious. Here's some more Carnival cruise. If you want to be fatigued on a Carnival cruise. Yeah, that looks like your local bus stop. The bus station. And that looks like your local Burger King. Or McDonald's. Take your pick. Maybe Popeyes. KFC. That's your regular local school. I think he wiped his booty hole and is touching all the doors. So nice. This is your local airport. I'm not playing it because there's music playing. I'm sorry, guys. This is just every other place in your life with this mess. The line when it's time to turn off the gratuity. Carnival cruise. They're like, nah, yo, we ain't paying no gratuities. This cop's there. Relax. This gentleman says it best. I don't know. I ain't got time for him. Dag nabbit. Hey, easy. Carnival cruise. This guy's pitching an idea. Carnival cruise to Africa. I didn't say it. He did. And then one day, he met the only person oppressing him. Oh, come on. All right, let's get out of here. These people are crazy. I'm going to leave you with some fun. We're doing this tomorrow. I was heated about this like 5 o'clock in the morning. We got to do it. It's 1 minute long. We ain't got the whole...
Okay, let's battle. Do we have any music? Come down here. Come down here. Okay, let's say everybody can see. We're about to go nuts. We're about to go dumb in here. Yo, what up, Scope? I'm going to school your ass like the Pope. Going to hang your ass with a rope. Hope when you rhyme, yo, bitches don't choke. Cause when I rap, I say the truth. When I rap, I do it from the booth. I spit in the mic and I spin it tight. I don't give a damn. I'll start a fight, punch you in the face. Hope you like the taste. Then I spray your candy ass with a bunch of mace. I am the truth, all up in the booth. This is the mother trucker proof. Prime time, always on the ground. Double 99, always blow your mind. Time, I'm Alex Stein, and I always grind and shine. Let's go.
All right, damn. We can watch the rest of it on Alex Show. Get over to Alex Show. Thank you so much, Lord Bibby, for being here. I will be back. And all y'all, I love all y'all. Get over to Alex right now. We got a minute left, and my phone's 1 minute behind. Get over to Alex Stein. After Alex, get over to where is the beautiful symbol. There we go. Doc Matt Steve will be following Alex Stein. Please get over to Alex. I'll be in the chat. We'll be in the chat at DMS afterwards. I'll be back in tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love y'all. Get over to Alex Stein right now. Quick, go, 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 go. I'm running late. All right. I love y'all. Peace.